Hello, everyone. Welcome to ITS 372. Today is our last day of class. So can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
great. So welcome to your, I'm sure you're all very excited for the fact that today is the last day of class. Get to enjoy your summer now, a little bit at least.
Yeah.
Okay, so the plan today, as I said, is to wrap up everything. So we have some presentations left. I'll just give you some reminders. I have now at this point opened, I believe, all drop boxes related to project submissions, so you can check those. And all homework assignments, after everything happened, right? So all homework assignments that were due after everything that happened, just basically the spring break, I have decided to open them. So they're going to stay open until probably this Friday, I think, at the latest. So make sure if you haven't submitted an assignment to submit it. You know, I've been trying to get everyone's homeworks in before I grade everything, but you know, I can't wait until Friday. So I'm going to start grading, you know, finishing up all the grading with those assignments. And so that's it. So I think, you know, so those are the announcements, homework assignments from after spring break. I've opened the drop boxes, but I think they will close Friday. So make sure you check everything today. Make sure you're clear, because I don't want to reopen them again. Okay, you know, I gotta have a cutoff point for everything. So once that way I can generate the your final grades. So that's one thing. Then also for the project B, I have opened the drop boxes. Those will close. Usually those I leave until the day of the final. But again, check the dates. You know, make sure that that you're very clear about submitting those. And then don't forget, there's the final exam. So the final exam will be on Monday. We already discussed the date. You can just check on Google, PNW final exam schedule. Look for spring 2020, and then the class time when we first meet in the week. I will send, so you've received, you know, your the teaching evaluation. So that's an email that goes separately out. Those, I believe they close on Friday. And then I will be posting the ABET surveys. There's the learning objective surveys, and then there's the ABET surveys. Those are going to be two separate links that you're going to see on Blackboard. Please complete that. Complete those. I'll try to get those out to you by today. So look for them maybe tomorrow and complete them. And then don't forget, the final exam is going to be online because of, you know, how things are happening. I have not figured out a better way to do that exam yet. So unfortunately, we're going to do that online exam. We're going to do that online exam. So we're going to do the online exam on the day, the Monday, and it'll open exactly, you know, at the time, and it'll close exactly at the time. So you will get 2 hours to complete it. Okay, so look for that. Be on the lookout. But the last time we did the same, everything worked. So at least that's, you know, you're familiar with it. Okay, so I think that's all the announcements that I had for you guys. Today is just finishing up presentations. Any last questions that you might have? Remember, the exam is comprehensive, so it's going to include, you know, everything. Okay, so that being said, before we start with the presentations, are there any questions?
This is the final exam covers the entire semester, correct?
That's right, comprehensive. So it's going to be everything from beginning to end. Could be anything. Yes. Anything else? Okay, so it seems like you can ask questions at the end, of course, or you can just email me, however you want to do it. I remember I also have office hours tomorrow, and so from two to about to 6, right? So you can always just show up. Okay, so we have one volunteer. So Susanna's team, they would like to go first. So please go ahead, share your screen, and I open the Zoom meeting to you guys.
Can everyone see everything?
Yes.
Okay. So starting off, we did the Apache Spark project. Now, what is Spark? Spark is a software framework for processing big data. Spark has distributed data processing engine, and Spark does not have its own storage. It requires a platform like HDFS. Spark can run in local mode or cluster mode. It supports programming languages like Java, Scala, and Python. Spark architecture. Spark, like Hadoop, also follows a slave architecture, apart from the master node and slave node. It has a cluster manager that acquires and allocates resources required to run a task. In master node, there is a driver program which is responsible for creating Spark contexts. It acts as a gateway for execution of Spark applications. The Spark context breaks a job into multiple tasks and distributes them into slave nodes called worker nodes. Moving on to the Spark ecosystem, Apache Spark is a unified analytics engine for large-scale data processing. It consists of libraries like GraphX, Spark Core API, Spark Streaming, Spark SQL, and machine learning. The differences between Spark and Hadoop. One huge difference is speed. Hadoop data is stored in a hard disk on data nodes. When data is required for processing, it is read from a hard disk and saved into the hard disk. Data is also read sequentially, which requires the entire data set to be read, not just the portion needed. Spark initially reads from the disk and saves output into RAM. So for the second job, the input is read from RAM and so on. This makes reading and writing faster. Now the programming languages considered is Hadoop MapReduce supports only Java, and Spark programs can be written in Java, Scala, and Python for making it more coder friendly. Differences between Spark and Hadoop. Hadoop lacks interactive machine learning and lacks interactive data analysis. Spark provides interactive machine learning as data is kept in memory, reducing read and write to disk, which helps to perform computation faster. It also provides interactive data analysis, rich sets of functions to do data analysis, speed up data analysis by catching data.
Data processing differences between Spark and Hadoop. Hadoop cannot be used for providing immediate results, but highly suitable for data collected over a period of time. It is more suitable for batch processing. It can be used to output forecasting, supply planning, predicting customer taste, research, calculating aggregates, and it's all done over a period of time. Spark can be used for both batch processing and real-time processing data, which is an advantage of Spark. Even if data is stored in a disk, Spark performs faster, making it suitable for real-time analysis like trending hashtags on Twitter and Spark marketing analysis and fraud detection. Continuing with the differences between Spark and Hadoop. Hadoop is designed to handle batch processing efficiently, whereas Spark is designed to handle real-time data efficiently. Hadoop is a high latency computing framework which does not have an interactive mode, whereas Spark is a low latency computing and processing data interactively. As we already mentioned before, Spark is faster than Hadoop. It has been found to run 100 times faster in memory and 10 times faster on disk. It also has been used to sort 100 terabytes of data 3 times faster than Hadoop, MapReduced on 1/10 of the machines used. So as far as scalability on both Hadoop and Spark, Hadoop has its own storage system, and Spark does not have a storage system, but it does use Hadoop's storage system. They are both highly scalable as Hadoop, HDFS can go more than 10 hundreds of thousands of nodes. Spark can also integrate with other storage systems like S3 bucket, which is an advantage of Spark. Security on both Hadoop and Spark. Spark only supports authentication via shared secret password authentication. As for Hadoop supports Kerberos, a network authentication protocol, and HDFS also supports access control list permissions. So Spark is a little less secure than Hadoop, but if it's integrated with Hadoop, then it can use its security features. Concluding with just the overall differences between Hadoop and Spark. Spark and Hadoop have many more features, many common features. Spark brings speed and Hadoop brings one of the most scalable and inexpensive storage systems. Spark has a popular machine learning library, while Hadoop has ETLs-oriented tools. Hadoop can be replaced by Spark in the future, but since it's less costly, it might not be obsolete.
And next part is a demo part. Before demo, let us to see some previous, we have the configuration we have and some application we have installed. The first one is a notebook, the Jupyter notebook, and the Java and the Scala and the PY4J. And the next one is Spark, the Apache Spark. And after we install the Spark, we need to configure some parameters to the file, including like Spark Home, and some Python and some parameter with a Jupyter notebook. And in order to run the Python PySpark, not only in the in this path, only the Spark Python is path, and we need to install the find Spark. And every time when we run the Python code, we need to do the import find Spark and to initiate this real path of the Spark application and import PySpark. It can work. And we have two parts to demo related to Spark, because Spark have many parts, and we focus on the two parts. The first part is a Spark streaming. So the Spark streaming is a extension of the core Spark API, enables scalable high throughput, and it's designed for the live data streams. And like this picture shows, we can see the Spark streaming can integrate the data from many resources, also includes the HDFS we mentioned before in our previous project, and or some TCP sockets, some Kafka, and process using some complex algorithms. And it's more high level than the Hadoop MapReduce one. And the Spark includes some high-level functions, not only map and reduce, also like join and window. And the Spark streaming can receive the live data stream and divide this data into some batches, and the Spark can process them, use the Spark engine and generate the final stream of those results in the batches. and then let us to demo the Spark. Okay, so so first I use Anaconda to activate a Python environment. It's Python 3.6, and then we open the Jupyter Notebook. This is a code for the Spark streaming. So before look at the code, let us to do this first. Okay. And then let us to look at the code. So as mentioned before, we have these 3 lines to make sure it can always find this module, the PySpark module. And then so here we mainly use the Spark context and streaming context to do this Spark streaming task. So we part of use some older RDD syntax, and we build this Python code in order to connect to a local stream data. So the local stream data will come from here, this terminal, and this will be communicated via a socket connection. You can see here is the socket connection, the local host with this port number, and this code can do the simply word counts task. So first it can create a Spark context, and then it can create a streaming context, and then create a socket context, and it will read in the lines as they stream this object, and then it can split the input line to the subwords, and then to do the map each word to something like words this kind of tuple, and then it can do the reduce part. It's group those tuples using the key, and here we have the lambda expressions is used. Some RDD syntax is used here, and now we can try to run the code to see. So it began to run now. It may take several minutes for. Okay, cool. So let us do some tests to see what happens. Like, hello. Yes. Because it is a real-time function. So let us to find the word we have. We can do a interrupt, not a stop to. I'm not sure. How about let me restart it, because looks like because last time I opened it and it's been several times before. So let me restart the notebook. Yeah, so we can see first it can print some real time, and then let us do some tests. Hello. If we can find them. Likely there's something problem here. I'm not sure. How about let us do the second part, run another one. So the second one we prepared is the Spark using the machine learning library, and it's an NLP example. And so before we do this, we need to understand several concepts. So first one is the term frequency. It's importance of the term within the document, and a second is the inverse document frequency. It's the importance of the term in all the documents. And in our code, we use we mainly use the PySpark machine learning ML feature, this module, and the whole process.
Shasheen, can you share your screen? I think you forgot to share.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. I didn't. Let me screen up this one. Okay, here. So this is the Spark machine learning library, and we use an NLP as example. And this is the two concepts I mentioned before. One is term frequency, one is inverse document frequency. And this is a PySpark ML feature we will use in our code. And let me to stop it first. Is that something connection address? Okay. Okay, so now we start to run this code, and for this part, for the code part, the whole code can be separated to like several parts. The first is to compile all the documents we have, and the document we have, let us wait until some outputs. It may take several minutes, and I will expand more based on the output. Yeah, because my computer is just only have a CPU, so it take time to read the file.
Okay, so while we're waiting, maybe I can. I'm just gonna make a comment. Actually, Shashing brings up this topic of Spark ML. We in the I don't know if you guys realize. So you guys study information technology, and I hope you understand that you don't really fundamentally like, oh, I learn about how to fix a computer, or I learn about networking stuff or security, right? So I think if you want to be more, you know, go to a very low level of what it is that you really do, you study information. You know, that's really information technology, computer information. Our program is focused entirely on information. You know, that's why you have databases, you know, so that's storing the data. You have networking, moving the data, security, protecting the data. What she's talking, and system administration is, you know, keeping all that infrastructure working and, you know, protecting that, but it's all data exchange, so it's all information. And I hope that, you know, that's important. And she is talking about this topic, Spark, which is kind of like the Hadoop discussion I talked about. It's certainly, as you can see, a very involved process. And she's doing data analysis of data is where my point. So anyway, just, you know, really quickly, I wanted to say that. And I wanted to say, we actually are starting a new set of courses in this program. And I just really quickly, I'll say that because our courses, hopefully it's kind of we're just starting. So, you know, hopefully it'll go well. We don't know. Possibly next semester, as early as next semester, we're going to have an elective in machine learning. It's an introduction to machine learning. It's not going to be Spark. So it's just going to be, I saw she had in there the algorithm naive Bayes, and that would be one of the topics in that. So it'll be, you know, that very first course, but I should say that it's actually 5 courses. This is going to be a concentration and electives. And one of the courses, a 400 level course, is called Distributed Data, you know, or Machine Learning. I don't remember the name. Professor Tae-Hoon Kim is going to be teaching that course. Some of you may actually, you know, if we start soon enough on those, may actually be able to take it. And to finish, it would be about this. So I believe one of the main topics in that course will be, in fact, Hadoop, Spark, and all of this distributed. So you would get to, you know, so this group, Shashing, Susanna, and Alicia are doing a great job just introducing this to us. And I've introduced a little bit of Hadoop, but that would be an entire semester course that would involve some sysadmin, obviously set it, you know, I'm sure Professor Kim will want you to understand how it works, how to set it up, and then running a lot of data in a cluster environment, okay? So anyway, I just wanted you guys to know if any of you will have an interest in that, certainly keep an eye out for those courses. All right, Shashing, I send this back to you.
Okay. Okay, so we have go to some process with several outputs. We can see it's a little bit delay. Okay, just wait until. Okay. So here we can see our data. I really wanted to scroll up, but it's stuck here. But that's fine. I can, based on this, to expand a little bit. So our data, we have 2 kind of label. One is it's a spam, or it is not a spam. Those are all the documents, texts from all the emails documents. Okay, looks like it's very busy and wait a minute until I display. Okay, cool. So here we can see the data show, and this line, the 5th line, the data with column rename. This is because the default is C0, C1, and we want it to be more clear, so we use class and text to rename it. Okay, can I scroll down? It's still stuck here. Okay, so yes, we can see there are several rows shows here. And the next part is clean and prepare the data. And as this output show, there a new column is length. It calculates each text length to here. And then we can go to the next part. We can see here we have the average for each class. So like it calculates the mean for each kind of text based on two classification. One is spam, one is not spam. And then we can see it's still stuck here with several minutes. I'm not sure why it's so busy today.
But that gives us some results, correct? We have some results there.
Yeah, we will have some results. Okay, so now, okay.
So
Okay.
what I can suggest, Shashing, since we are a little bit limited on time, I think this is really great. As far as your presentation, you know, I think you've done a great job. If you would like to give us the full presentation, you could do a YouTube video, send the link. I will post it on the website, and everyone can see all the details of it if you'd like. Does that work for you guys?
Yeah, that work. Or we're just waiting for it ends, and after like
Okay.
and like another group to
How
speak.
long do you think it'll take for?
I think about several more minutes.
Several more minutes.
Yeah, so now it has go to.
Could we do this? Could you just let it run and we come back to you when it's finished?
Yeah, that's great for us.
Yeah, all right, let's do that. So I think you did a great job. This is an amazing project, so congratulations. As I said, you know, you should talk to Professor Kim about giving this to him, because he's gonna be doing this. And then, yeah, so you guys share when it's ready, and let's try another group. But excellent, excellent. So virtual clapping. All right, so let's see. We had group number 2 is Josh Phillips.
Yes, sir. Sharing my
Go ahead,
screen now.
sir.
Okay. Okay, you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm continuing the Hadoop project first, just to show you that my MapReduce works. So I turned everything on, obviously just to save time, and I'm just gonna compile it. Cool, and then hopefully my VM don't crash. To save time while I was going in the background, I'm gonna present my my other topic, and then come back to this. So let me switch it. Okay, can you see my PowerPoint?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, cool. So I'm talking about bash snippets, something that's not really complex, but it's fairly easy to understand. A bash snippet is a collection of bash scripts that are used for heavy terminal users. They are helpful helpful for those that live in terminals all day. In the bash snippet that I'm using specifically, there are 19 individual scripts that can be ran. They are cheat, cloud up, crypt, cryptocurrency, currency, geo, lyrics, meme, movies, Newton, QRFI, shorts, site ciphers, stocks, taste, to do, transfer, weather, and YouTube viewer. To give you a description of them all, Cheat is a Linux command cheat sheet. CloudUp is a tool to back up GitHub repository to the Bitbucket. Crypt encrypts and decrypts files. Cryptocurrency converts cryptocurrency based on real-time exchange rates of the top 10 cryptos. Currency obviously converts currency. Geo provides networking details such as the IP, MAC address, LAN address. Lyrics, print song lyrics. Meme is a terminal meme creator. Movies, searches, and displays movie details. Newton performs numerical calculations. QRFI turns a set of string into a QR code. Shortens URL. Site ciphers checks the enable and disable ciphers. Stocks provides stocks details. Taste is a recommendation engine. To do is a to-do list manager. Transfer is a file transfer from the command line. Weather displays the weather, and YouTube video allows you to watch video from a terminal. To install this, if necessary, you have to first install Git using the sudo apt git install Git. And then you have to install the Git repository from the website and install bash snippets specifically. And then once you do that, you have to navigate to the bash snippets directory and then update the Git checkout to the latest release, which was in this case version 1.22.0. And then once you install the bash snippets command, you select yes or no per which script you want installed, which can be seen in the screenshot. So with each and every one of the scripts, you can select yes, I want this installed, or no. And if you want to install them all, select use this command, sudo.install.sh all, or if you want to install a specific script, do sudo.install.sh and then install that script specifically. Each tool requires an active internet connection. There are 19 tools altogether. Obviously, I don't have time to demo them all, but I will do a select few. And they all have their own implementation method within the command line. So now I'm going to show you those. Okay, obviously you see now that my MapReduce did the word count. So just to show you that my MapReduce worked, that's that. So now I'm gonna go to part 2. So now I'm gonna navigate to the bash snippets. And now we're there. So let's say we want to run a currency. And then, oh, I spelled that. And then what is the base currency? We can do INR for euros. And let's say we want to convert that to United States dollars. And then the amount being exchanged, let's just say 10. And then it does it for you. Let's say we want to find out what the weather is in the USA. If it works, it should tell you, obviously it's the wrong date, but it gives the location United States, it gives the different weather. Let's say I want to get the IP address of my router. I can do geo-r and it gives me the IP address of my router. Let's say I want to do QRFI. And I could just type a random string and it converts it into QR code. So pretty much you can go all day with this, but I only showed a few examples, but that's bash snippets and that's all I got.
Yeah, really, very interesting. Actually, I really like those this set of scripts, batch snippets. Also, great job on the Hadoop. Would you mind just showing really quickly a bash snippet, like the code behind it? Just you don't have to explain it. I just want to literally take a look.
Let me see if I can find it. I don't know.
Oh, you don't know? Okay, so they're placed somewhere. Okay, you haven't looked at them.
Yeah, it's like in the background.
Yeah, they're. So you're telling me they're put in like your bin folder or something, or your.
Correct.
Okay, so they're okay. Got it. All right, that's fine. But very interesting. Are there any questions for Josh? No questions?
No questions.
Okay. All right, Josh, great job on both projects. Yeah.
Professor Calix, can I show my results? I have the results now.
Go
Okay.
ahead, please, Shashin. Yes.
So for both program, we have the result now. So first, you see the Spark stream. You can see it implement a simple word count, but based on the live stream, we can see we have ITS, and now the ITS2 and 371, 450, 41, and over it there's a hello there 3 times. So it's very similar, but we use different technique to implement and use different kind of library. And for another one, we have the result now. First, let us see the result. It's the accuracy is about 0.90, and we can see here. So beginning from last time we stopped, please. Yeah, so it will change all the data to the numeric. It's like 1 or 0, and then the train. So for the train parts, we have the 70% for train and 30% for testing. And we can see this table of the label prediction and with the feature and the row prediction and the probability. So this is our results based on use the library provided by the PySpark. The reason why the machine learning with the PySpark is likely merging is because the Spark increase a lot of the performance on the iteration parts for the kind of tasks used in machine learning. Is like to do the same task many times, and the Spark is very well at this kind of task. So for the big data, it's always commonly used. So yeah, this is our presentation and our results. Thank you.
All right, great job. I just want to add one thing. So for big data, there's actually 2 approaches to it. There's one approach, which is a CPU-based approach, which would be like this, Spark and ML. And then there's a GPU. You know, if you can use your graphics processing units via programs like PyTorch and TensorFlow. And so there's both of those. But, you know, excellent job, guys. So Susanna, Alicia, Shashin, great job. Are there any questions for them, guys, from the audience? Any questions? All right, no questions. Great job. So let's see, who said they were going next?
I did.
So Ryan Sparling's group.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, please. And then after that, it's going to be Deanna's group. And then after that, Zach and Anthony.
Okay, so you guys can see my VMware up right now, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to keep everything brief because, I mean, most people have been working on Hadoop. So over here, I just ran this and I'll run it again so you guys see that all the daemons are running for Hadoop. Got that there. Got the system directory here for Hadoop. And just to show you guys, got everything configured for Hadoop going on right here. There's all the system stats. And right now, just one data node because we did a single node implementation. And then over here, looking at the file directory, I got 2 books off of Gutenberg.
I'm sorry, Ryan, you said we? Who else is in your group?
Sydney Smith and Brandon Bearhead.
Okay, that's important information.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, Sydney Smith.
Mhm.
And who, Brandon?
Brandon Bearhead, yes.
Okay. Are you guys there?
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, so we've got the two books. I think the one that I've been working with has been David Copperfield, but I've got them both here in a folder, and I wanted to show really quickly here that Yarn is also up, and I've already ran 3 jobs over here. So if we had a multi-node setup, then everything would basically be in place. So then if we run this script, which is gonna run this jar file, do the word count on Pride and Prejudice, and it's gonna output the results to that folder. So I'm gonna run this. Let me. And one thing that I did end up finding was I ended up going with a newer version of Ubuntu and of Java. And what I found was that past Java 11, which I'm pretty sure I'm running Java 14 on this VM, there's a jar file missing that won't allow you to run the Yarn side of things, and I think there was a node manager that wouldn't run if you don't have that jar file. So if anybody was running into those problems, that's why. So you see job completed 100%. So then if we come over here to the word count folder, there's output. And then here is our file. I'm just gonna download this real quick and open it up. As you can see, it went through and bit by bit got everything in the book and counted it. And that is it. That's our Hadoop.
Great. Any questions for this group about the Hadoop project? Okay, are you guys presenting something else, or did you present the other topic?
Yeah, we presented fog on Monday.
Got it. That's right, the ghosting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So next group then, please.
All right. All right. Our topic is, we're not sure on the exact saying, we think it's NAGIOS. And Jackie is going to start us off.
What is NAGIOS? NAGIOS is a free open source computer application used to monitor different network services such as SNMP, SSH, HTTP, and etc. It can be used to monitor on Linux, Windows, Mac, and other main environments. It also monitors applications, hardware, and host resources such as disk usage. It basically monitors any service infrastructure present in the environment. While monitoring, if NAGIOS notices anything has gone wrong, it will alert users. It also alerts when it has noticed a problem before it happens, and then re-alerts when it has been solved or fixed.
Okay, the capabilities and benefits of using NAGIOS and that have made it
a recognized top solution for monitoring services is partially because it's a very flexible program. It can monitor with or without agents. It has 3,500 different add-ons to make it much easier. But the main benefits are increased server services, process, and application availability, fast detection of network and server outages and protocol failures, and the fast detection of failed services, processes, and batch jobs. Visibility and awareness about activity is also made really easy with NAGIOS. It has a centralized view of the entire monitored IT infrastructure, which gives it fast detection of infrastructure outages. Alerts can be delivered to technical staff via email or SMS. Detailed status information available through is also available through web interface. It has escalation capabilities that ensure alert notifications get to the right people in a fast amount of time. And it also has problem remediation.
All right. So how to install NAGIOS? There are different tutorials. This is the tutorial link that I decided to go with. It suggested to make sure that you have Apache 2 installed, make sure to update and upgrade your Ubuntu, and then best to do everything through root. To start off, you need to make a user and a group, and then add the user to that group. You need to download and extract the NAGIOS. This command that is highlighted right here, this NAGIOS is the 4.4 NAGIOS that I used. After downloading and then extracting, you then have to compile the NAGIOS before building. You configure NAGIOS with the user and the group that you previously created at the beginning. And then you run this command right here in the second screenshot to do that. And then you install the plugins. You would run the command, the user local NAGIOS right here to install the plugins. After that, you would configure NAGIOS, which involves going to this CFG file and then turning this file it was once commented out, you uncomment it and save it. And then you configure the Apache. You would run this command to enable Apache modules, and then to enable the NAGIOS virtual host, you would run this command right here in the second screenshot, and then you would start Apache and NAGIOS at the same time. And then once you get this little green light, it means that the NAGIOS is ready to be seen via your IP address /NAGIOS. And there is another option. You can add more hosts to the NAGIOS. You could do it by connecting to Ubuntu hosts by using the IP address of the Ubuntu host. You would install NRPE servers, configure the NRPE, restart it, and then you would add the Ubuntu host to the NAGIOS server and then restart all the servers. And then you would have a screen that would look similar to this, and then all the continuous hosts would be after it. And then I'm going to show our NAGIOS. This is the home screen, and then over here off to the left-hand side, you have all the different statuses, problems, reports. You'd click right here to see your servers. And then if any of these servers were not logged on, like installed onto the Ubuntu, it would be red. I should have took a screenshot of it, but I didn't have SSH installed, so it was a red until I installed it. And then these two markers right here mean that I will not be receiving any alerts if anything is about to happen negatively or wrong with these two services. And then you also have alert histories that you could click on, and then it'll tell you what date all these alerts happened, which type of alert it was. You have summaries you can look into, and then you could search a specific one if you wanted to know a specific date, time, what type of server, what software. And there's just different summaries and grids. And then just the more servers you have, the more you'll have on this page going down. And that's NAGIOS.
Great job. Very interesting. You guys have any questions for them about NAGIOS? Okay, no questions. Are you guys presenting the Hadoop as well?
Oh, we presented Hadoop on Monday.
Okay, great. All right, so okay. All right, great. So then next, please.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
How about my screen? Can you guys see it?
we can see it, yes.
Gotta flex the fiance real quick for good luck. So what I'm going to be presenting is I'm doing two things because I thought my first thing was kind of too short, and I discovered the other while doing my certified ethical hacking research. So I'm doing OpenNMS and Nessus. OpenNMS is an open source network monitoring and management platform. How it works is devices are attached to nodes, and the nodes is what does the monitoring. And it monitors services and views events of every device that's assigned to it. This is what the main dashboard looks like. I purposely made my Kali environment offline to give the alarm and to display the outage. I also did that before the last group presented as well, so we can go in depth with that. On my main Ubuntu that I use for classes and homework, you can see its IP address, and you can see the two services that are running on it, and it's time-stamped, the military time, showing you that it was 100% working throughout the last 24 hours and recent events. When something does go offline, it displays this alert, which you can click further in to get more information from, such as the exact time when the node realized it's not communicating. And there's a couple, when I was messing with it yesterday, it took a little bit to register that it was offline. I looked before I started presenting, and it shows that it's offline now. So I guess there's certain queue times that I wasn't able to find a setting for that dictates when it tries to reach out to the device to see if it's online or not. For Nessus Essentials, it's likewise open source. It's a vulnerability scanner that's designed specifically for Unix systems, but it can do Windows environments as well. It's continuously updated, and it has currently over 70,000 plugins. Oh, whoops. I don't know what it did. There we go. Sorry about that. This is the main dashboard. It's pretty cut and dry. There's not a lot of bells and whistles to it. It starts off with your scans that you've ran in the past, and you can quickly hit the play button on the right side to run a scan template again. This is the configuration, so I called it a Unix scan. I scanned the IP addresses for my Unix boxes, and this is the results. This one in particular from my Metasploitable that I use. It was able to detect one of the backdoors that are purposely placed in Metasploitable. For anybody that doesn't know, Metasploitable is Ubuntu Linux that's specifically designed to have vulnerabilities in it for the purpose of research. And then I'll pull up the demonstration. Where are we at? So this is the scans. It takes a little too long, so I'm not going to demonstrate that, but we can go and see. Oh, I respectfully disagree. It shouldn't be. Oh, okay. Bruh, it was working a second ago. Okay, moving on. I don't know what's up with that. So for the Kali environment, I triggered the alarm and I turned it off. So you'd click into what the outage is specifically, and see that over the last 24 hours, it's only been available 99.4% of the time. You can further click into it. and see that the reason it's listed as offline is because it couldn't ping. It shows this is when I brought it down yesterday, when I brought it up today, and then turned it off again today. Does anybody have any questions?
Any questions, guys?
Hey, I was able to get the scan to pull up. So this is my address for my Metasploitable. You can further click into it, we can find detailed information about the specific backdoor that it detected and further links to see what exactly it was with different risk information.
So it's basically like pen testing that device.
Similar to it, yeah. I've been equating it to kind of like a lesser version of CrowdStrike Falcon, if you're familiar with that, Dr. Calix. So it's not as it doesn't have the cloud functionality that CrowdStrike does, but I think it's pretty good for something that's open source and free to use. One thing I did think was pretty cool was that it was able to see vulnerabilities on my host machine, like my Windows desktop. Which one was it? I think it was this one, maybe. It's able to get an SMB login onto my computer, so I thought that was pretty nifty.
Oh, nice, great job, guys. Do you have any questions for Zach? Okay, Zach, have you presented the Hadoop lab?
Yes, sir. I presented the last class.
Okay, great. All right, so great job. Who goes next? Anthony?
That would be me, yeah. You hear me fine?
Yes.
Okay. And screen on. You see my screen?
Yes.
All right. Okay.
You, Anthony?
Sorry, what?
Is it just you?
Yeah, it's just me.
Okay.
So I did my project B on Bolt. And what Bolt is just pretty much a little program. It's a lightweight open source agentless multi-platform automation tool. Pretty much like it uses SSH or WinRM depending on which OS the machine has to do pretty much everything that the program can do. It can do a bunch of different things. I'll get into that in a little bit though. I just made a small program. I'll demonstrate in a bit though, or not a small program, but a small module as they call it. I'll demonstrate at the end of this little micro presentation. Like I said, what can you do with it? Just a small little rundown is run programs, run commands, and then run any other scripts you can make because it's going through SSH, right? So you can pretty much do whatever you can do with SSH with Bolt, but it's a lot easier as I'll demonstrate doing it through Bolt. And some key advantages of Bolt is that it's lightweight. It only needs to be installed on like the host machine or like the machine you're working from as an administrator. And you just do all the configuring from there. As long as SSH is on the client machines, you can use Bolt. And then, like I said, you can use one admin machine to manage a couple other client machines, which I'll demonstrate as well, or just to install things is what I'm going to be demonstrating. And then it has a bunch of other modules that can do. I've seen things that make it work with like Active Directory. I haven't really messed with anything like that because that seems like a lot for me to go into for a project like this. But there was one for Apache and managing like SQL stuff as well, with a Puppet database. But I've just made my own small module to install Sublime Text, which I'll go into demonstrating right now. You still see my screen, right? Didn't break anything?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. So quickly here. So I'm already in my Bolt project directory. You have to make like a project directory, which is just on my desktop right now. And just to demonstrate the Sublime Text, which is a program I install using Bolt, is not installed on my other VMs. I'm just going to try to use it really quick on both. That should have like opened up a window for like a new text file. It didn't because it doesn't exist on this one. And then and it didn't on this one either yet. So going back to my administrator machine, I can just do a bolt command, which I already typed in here. I can explain it. Yeah, this one really quickly. It's just use bolt to access, that program bolt. Plan is the module I use, which is in my project directory here. In modules, I just call it Sublime because it's just dealing with the Sublime program. And it has a plan in here called install. And it uses these YAML files, as I'll talk about in a second too, for configuring everything. So I want to run a plan in Sublime, which is, I define the Sublime plan here. And then which plan I want to do is right here, which is install. You don't have to put .yaml for here. And then the -t is for the target that you want to run all these commands on, or this plan in this case on. And the target is defined in, this is the root of the project directory. And then it's in this inventory YAML file, which I believe I already have open in here. Yeah. Here I can just define what CCVM, which is and CVM, which are my two targets in this command. It'll go into this file from like with Bolt, it'll go into this file. And since I have CCVM and CVM defined here, it'll use these groups, which only have one machine in each group. It's kind of a little confusing, but it was the only way I can get it to work and make sense, if that makes any sense. And these are the IPs of my two machines. And then the user password, since it's SSHing. Using SSH, you need to define what it needs to use to get into it. And that's pretty much it for this YAML file here, which is just, like I said, what it uses to get this name, or the names for these two targets. And then I'll get into the install YAML in a second, which is like what Bolt uses to like run the install stuff. So let's make sure this works first. I've tested about 10 times. Give it a second. Shouldn't take too long. Usually it takes, under 10 seconds. So it says plan finished here, and then it says with no result, but it did, as we'll see in a second. So I didn't do anything on this machine, obviously. And now I can do Sublime, which is sub-L is a command to get into Sublime text from the command line, and then test, and you can see it's installed. This machine already had the repository for installing Sublime text, so I didn't have to program anything into the YAML file on my what is it called, admin machine, to get it to work there. But I'm pretty sure you can also have it install repositories or add repositories to remote clients. And then on here, I'll test it as well. So you can see it's also on here, and I did that all from my admin machine, which is pretty handy. You can think of a lot of ways to use that. And like I said, this module is just something I made just to see if I can make something quickly. And it was pretty simple. As you can see, it's just this one file. And it's just, all you're doing is defining like what packages that you want to use in Bolt. So like here, like the step is just install. This is like something you would name. The task it actually uses from Bolt is called package. Targets it gets from the command line. So it's just $ targets. And then what the task package actually does is all defined in this little parameters section. So it's like install, and then I had to run it as root because otherwise it wouldn't install, right? It makes sense. And then what the name of the package you want to actually install is in this case Sublime text. And this is just like a description for Bolt. If you're working with just Bolt, you can I'm not exactly sure where that would show up. I never tried to get the description to show through Bolt. And then one other quick thing I want to show with Bolt is that you can just run the commands through SSH from your host machine. Like on this machine, if I wanted to, instead of like manually SSHing from your host machine into this, like say this machine, I can just do a Bolt command. I think it is command run, and then say I want to do uptime on it. I just needed to say the target is CCVM, which would be that other clone one I just tabbed into. And I don't have to, like I said, manual SSH. I just use Bolt, and it gives me the output right here from the SSH. So it's pretty useful for that.
Well, so if I understand correctly, you define all of your other machines in those CCVM files, and then you can just run the command basically and provide that description. Is that?
Yeah, it's like if I want to just run a command like really quickly, so I just want to like see how long a machine's been up, like in this case, I have to have. I never tried just putting in the IP here, but I don't know if that'll work.
Okay.
I can
What is
try it really
CC?
quickly.
But CCVM is a device, correct?
Yeah, it's defined right here.
It could be any device in your network.
It has to have SSH on it in order.
Right.
to,
Right.
But
okay.
yeah, if it has SSH, then yeah, you should
That
be able to work
makes
with
no.
it.
It makes sense. I got it.
So that's my project B pretty much.
Okay. Great job. Very interesting. Guys, are there any questions for Anthony? Okay, no questions, it seems. I think, that was my question, so I get how.
All right.
Very good, very useful.
I do have to do my Hadoop one too. So.
Oh, you're going to do that? Okay, go ahead then.
Yeah, I can do what I can get working at least.
And it's
So-
just you, correct?
Yeah, it's just me again.
Okay, go ahead, please.
All right. So I can just show you that I already have my Hadoop running in one of these commands. I didn't want to have you guys wait on that. I believe this was my, yeah. I think it was JPS to show. Yeah, you can see it's running. And I can open it in my web browser. This is the Yarn one. Refresh it, it's up. I could view this here. It has my one node. I have a single node working. I couldn't manage to get the other ones working. And I also had a lot of problems trying to run like any jobs on Hadoop. I couldn't really figure it out. I had a lot of issues with the version I was using, I think. I'm not really 100% sure what's up with it. It might just be that I'm trying to use the built-in one that doesn't really work right with stuff I have on my VM. I don't know. But I'm supposed to just be able to put in like this, and it'll run a MapReduce command that's built in and grab input from a defined input file, and then output it to a specific file in my file system here for Hadoop. But it runs, but then it doesn't output anything correctly. So I can show you that it runs. And then on my Yarn, this was my previous task, and this is the one it's running right now, I believe. Yeah. So you can see it's working. And it'll probably take about a minute or two, but then it'll say failed like this one will. So there's something wrong with that MapReduce, or maybe the way I'm using it. I'm not really 100% sure what's going on there, but I got that much to work right at least. So we can wait for this one. Maybe this one will miraculously work, but I don't think it will, because that's usually pretty damning when it says that, at least for this version of the MapReduce I was using that was built into it. But it shouldn't take too long. So we can wait.
I think a lot of people just so they did the built-in count. I don't know if you tried that one, if you saw in the other videos, but
yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like I'm using a weird version of it. There's something that's just
that one just required you to put the files in a specific location, the HDFS, and the built-in command, the jar. I think you did something similar. The jar count.
Yeah, and you can see it finished, but it probably failed. Oh, that's my web browser. What was I checking? Oh yeah, this one. But yeah, it failed. So there's something wrong. I'm doing wrong there, but I did manage to get Hadoop up and running, and it does run jobs. It's just the job I'm trying to do is doing something wrong. So
did you try the count?
I'm not sure what to do for the count. Either.
If you saw the other presentations, people just download it like a Gutenberg book.
I have this is a book I had from previous lab we did. Right. I'm not sure how to access the book itself.
You have to load it, so you have to put it somewhere, and then you use a Hadoop command, copy to local, and then you basically move it to the HDFS, the distributed Hadoop file system, and then you can just run the job, and you tell where input and output is. But anyway, you can try it if you'd like.
I could try and get it done before the class ends.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe I can show it again. But yeah, that's all.
That's the common one. So that's okay. All right. Are there any questions for Anthony? Okay, no questions. Do we have any people presenting today?
I have a question for you,
Yeah, go ahead.
Professor. For Lab B, where do you want us to submit PowerPoint or PowerPoint in a Word doc? What are you looking for?
For which one?
For Project B.
Project B, the presentation. That one really just the report and the slides, so you can sip it.
Okay, thank you.
Dropbox for them. All right, do we have, please, if you still need to present, can you just speak up so I know how many people we have left today?
Yes, I'm next.
Who is?
Alex.
Alex, okay, and who else needs to present today? Just want to.
For Alex.
Jonathan, so you both are presenting together?
Josh needs to go as well. 3 so far.
Who?
Josh.
Joshua Thomas.
Joshua, you haven't presented. Okay, so three people at least?
Yeah.
Anyone else? Okay, so if it's just 3 left.
John Ramirez said he has to do.
Okay, so 4 then. All right, so speak up, please. All right, guys, so we might run a little long.
Okay.
Speak up if at this point, please, don't just write on the text because I may miss you, okay? So, I'm trying to get everyone to present. So go ahead, okay?
You can see my screen?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so I've already started all of the Hadoop services.
Can you just, state your name,
skip ahead?
state who's in your group so that we're...
my name is Alex Gutierrez, first name Luis though, and I am running solo.
Solo, okay.
So I've already started the Hadoop services, and to check that they are running, we will run the command jps, and they are. Next, I will go to where my books are located. And I figured it was appropriate to have one of the books a journal of the plague year. And let's see.
Okay.
And next, we're just going to go to the Hadoop's localhost. I already have it here. So I already had a few directories made. So we are going to go ahead and make a new one for this. I'm going to name this directory ITS 372. And then I am going to copy the downloaded books directory to Hadoop's. And I'm going to place it into that directory I just made, ITS 372. And if I refresh this page, you can see I have the ITS 372 directory with the books inside. Next, I'm going to go ahead and use Hadoop's word count function. And that is going to create a new directory within that ITS 372 folder called output. And just a few more seconds. Okay, and that is complete now. So if I refresh this page, I have the output here. I am going to go ahead and download the text file. Saved it within my downloads. And then I prefer to gedit the part. That way it can easily be seen.
Great. Great job. Did you do single node or multi-node?
This was single node.
Okay. Great job.
Thank you. Let's see.
Are you presenting the other topic?
No, I did it with Yash and Josh on Monday.
Okay, so you made sure I got your name, correct?
I
I believe Yash mentioned my name.
Okay, great. All right, good job, great job. Who do we have next?
I'm next.
Who is that?
Jonathan
Are you
Dinga.
working alone or with someone?
I'm doing the solo for Hadoop.
Okay, go ahead, please.
All right, just a moment.
Did you do single node or multi-node?
I did single.
Okay.
All right, can you see my VM?
Yes.
All right, so I have the terminal up. I'm just gonna do the JPS to show my daemons, and they're there. And now I'm gonna go to the browser. This is the info about the cluster. Then this is the name node information. And the data node is right here. I did try doing the MapReduce, but I was having a bit of issue with it. But you can see here in the applications list that it does recognize it as going through the Hadoop file system. So that's as far as I got with Hadoop.
Any questions for Jonathan? All right, so are you presenting anything else, Jonathan?
No, I did my project B already.
Okay, all right, great. Okay, so who do we have next?
Go next. Joshua Thomas, yeah.
Are you in a group?
I did the group for Project B already yesterday. We did Ansible. That was with me, Yash, and Alex.
Okay.
And then I will share my screen right now.
Are you doing Hadoop today?
I'm doing Hadoop. I did a single node.
Okay.
And on the left side, I just have a lab guide kind of. I'm going to run quickly through this, and then I'm going to, on the right side, actually run it on my VM. So first thing, install Java. Make sure you have up-to-date Java. Configure your SSH. And then you also want to, it's important to like change, take ownership of those keys so you can transfer it, because you also have to do a local host. To add that to, this is all for Apache, by the way, just to get Apache up and running and making you be able to run a Hadoop server on your local host. Then you're going to go into your bash RC file. You're going to add different paths for Hadoop in your Java path. Then you're going to source bash to save those configurations. Then you're going to obviously additionally have to configure a couple of different Hadoop files. This is all here. I'm kind of going through this fast just because everybody's done this already. So if I need to repeat anything, I can. But this is the point where you make the name node folder. And then I'm just going to actually, I already have it done, but I'll run through it quickly. Right here, these are books that I downloaded from the Gutenberg website. So I'm going to do start my name, my Hadoop stuff. I will open up localhost to show that it's running. Once it's done, it's almost done. Okay, so this is the localhost website. It shows that I have one data node activated. Like I said, I already did this before, so I have just a user and I have it, but I will do it again quickly just to show that it works. You're going to have to copy the files from your local computer to the Hadoop client. To copy, well, I'll make a new directory. So I'm going to make a test user 2 directory just to copy information over. So I made a new user and made just a folder to put the books in. If I go back, I can show that that user has been created, test user 2, a books folder. And now I'm going to copy that information from the computer to my folder. So this is just copy from local. This is where my location, where my books are located at, and this is where I'm putting the books. It's going to copy. If I just go into here, my books have been copied, and now I can run the and I'm using the MapReduce that's inside of the Hadoop environment as well. So I'm gonna run this. Actually, I need to make sure I change these values. This should go relatively quickly. It's still running. Okay, MapReduce is now starting. It should finish the map soon. Is there any questions or anything I should repeat while this is running?
I don't have questions right now.
All right, MapReduce just finished. As you can see, it's assessed the output file that has data in it. I'll just download this file, save it, and then I'll open it up, and it's done. And this is like 4 different books, I believe I did.
Great, excellent.
So yeah, that's that.
We just copy all 4 in there.
Yeah, I copied it all to the one file, and one folder, and it just ran MapReduce on all 4 books at once.
Excellent.
So
Great job, great job. Are there any questions for Joshua? Josh? Okay, no questions. Josh, are you presenting something else?
no, I printed it to the group project on Monday.
Okay, great. And this was just you, correct?
Correct.
Okay, excellent. Do we have any people? Oh yeah, go
I
ahead.
do have one further question. For the group project, is everybody uploading the group project or just one person?
Yeah, so that's more for me. If you can just all load, because that way it's easier for me to grade. I can just find your document, grade you, instead of opening it and then looking up your name. So it just makes my life easier. So yes, everyone submit your report.
Okay.
Got it?
Yep, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Do we still have anyone left? We're short on time, so almost.
Yeah, I gotta do my Hadoop.
Okay, go ahead.
John?
John, are you working with someone or?
No, I'm alone. Let me share this real
you
quick.
Presented the topic yet?
Yeah, I did my project B on Monday.
Okay, all right. So just this. Are you doing single node or multi-node?
It's a single node, but I ran into an error today. My VM actually crashed right here on me, so I had to like backtrack a lot just to get to the point where it works. So yeah, I managed to get to the point where I did the formatting for it. Let me scroll down. And then I ran the start DFS and the yarn. And then I ran JPS. I noticed that I was missing my data node here, but I'm able to access the node itself. And I'm also able to access the applications, and that's about as far as I got back on it. So yeah, as far as I got back.
Okay. All right. So that's all right. So you've seen the presentation, so.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was John. John, are you presenting anything else?
I did my project B on Monday.
Yeah. So nothing else. Okay. So do we have anyone else? I know Jasmine has been writing on the text. Jasmine, I don't know if you can hear me, but
can you hear me?
your mic shows as not muted. So try speaking.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello.
Just speak up a little louder, but we can hear you.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Can you see this?
Yeah, so I see Docker there.
Yeah. Okay.
Just speak up a little louder, Jasmine. Maybe
Okay.
come closer to the mic.
Okay, so I chose to do Docker for the part B. It is an open source base project based on Linux containers. You can use it for finding and sharing images with the team. It provides push and pull for container images also. A few of the components, the client, daemon, images, containers, and registries. This is just a few screenshots of the history for the installation and everything. I didn't get screenshots as I was installing it because I had run into a few errors, so I didn't just want to like constantly screenshot everything. This was me pushing, just like confirming that it worked and everything. The hello, just like getting hello from their website and everything. I can show the example of that. So this is alrighty. So for this, I'm gonna push to my Docker. I did a few already. Here's a few that I pushed from my terminal to the hub of the website. So I'm just gonna make this quick. I'm just gonna show the images that I have. I can't copy on my Docker. These are the ones that I've pulled down. I pulled Ubuntu and the Debian from there, so I don't have to pull anything right now. I can just do another. So I'm going to execute this. I'm gonna grab the container ID and oops, oh no, and there we go. Now to show that it's it, I just put it right. It's right here, 33 seconds ago. Now, let's see. I'm gonna make a new directory. Make another one for that too. Let's see. Copy this. I'm gonna grab this container ID, my login for the website, and there we go. Let's see. Alrighty, now we're going to look at the images again. I just did this one just now. I'm gonna push it to the hub. Push. I'm gonna copy this. And it's pushing it to the mount. Okay. And then I'm gonna go back here and refresh. Oops. And here it just pushed this one right here.
So that is now a Docker virtual machine that you can download?
In a way, yes. I mean, I can like
Or
push
use?
it and like pull it. Yeah, I can use it and like push it and pull it like back and forth and like try upload things and stuff like that. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Good.
That was the one I just did. So for my Hadoop, I've probably had the most problems in the world. Let's just clear this. So I had everything working. I'm gonna actually pull up my Word document.
Are you working with someone on these projects
No,
by
I've
yourself?
gotten help though. I've attempted to get help from other students to get my stuff working because it was just
Right, but are you presenting now just for yourself?
yes, this is by myself.
Both projects, right?
Yep.
And this is single node?
Yes.
Okay.
These were the original screenshots I took when I was first doing it. So this was just showing that I had Hadoop installed and everything. This was just the overview of the local host. This was the node, and these are just the screenshots of me configuring each file and everything. This was, oh God. There we go. This was just me starting everything like that. The nodes and the managers and all that. But as of yesterday, oh, actually, as of this morning, I don't have any of that because I genuinely just don't know what happened. It was working last night. I made sure everything was in order. I'm actually gonna start the start everything, and then. There's nothing here right now. Obviously, there's nothing started. Then I'm going to show what started and I'm gonna refresh. If I go right now currently to my data node, it's not here, but this was from the other day showing that I had it, and I just genuinely don't know how it disappeared. This was from Wednesday. It shows the node right here and everything, the version that I currently have. But on here, it's not even like started. The data node, if you look here, it's not on here started, and I don't know how to start it. I've tried to troubleshoot and nothing works. But since it's not started, I cannot put my books on here. It only lets me put the like where the books are. Like if I go to my machine right here, the books are here. This is what this is supposed to be, but it just will not upload them because the data node will not start. But yeah, I had everything up there at one point and it just broke itself. So it's about as far as I got with that.
All right. Any questions for Jasmine? All right. Thank you, Jasmine. Okay. So do we have anyone else that's presenting or doing their demos? Guys? So please speak up now because, today's our last meeting day for this. And then, this is our last time we'll meet on Zoom, right? And, the next thing is just the exam. So let's see. Okay. I'm just going to do a quick check of the participants. Okay, so I believe that everyone, as far as I can see in there, has presented. So remember, presenting is very important, to the class. Okay, so that's it then. We actually came in on time. So great job, great presentations, guys. Thank you very much. Please look for the everything I said. The drop boxes are already created for the project and homework assignments that you can still submit. And then don't forget the exam on Monday and just submit your materials. You're done with your presentations. Great job. You're done with your online 372. So, so I wish you all, the best. And if we don't talk again, I hope to see you guys in the fall and hopefully on campus. All right, so with that, I'm going to basically sign off. Okay, so,
Thank you, Doctor.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem. Have a nice,
Thanks.
Sure, don't forget the exam, but otherwise, I'll see you guys.
All right. Have a nice one. Be safe.
You too.
Be safe.
Bye-bye.